Hi guys, I'm Jacob Sullivan, and this is a series of dives over different days that I wanted to share with y'all, and I hope y'all enjoy. Thanks. So this first dive here, I actually spotted this mangrove from the surface, and I started dropping down on him. You can see him way down deep past the chubs, and I line up on him. I just put it in right behind his head. Didn't quite stone him, but definitely took his motor out and was able to get him up to the surface really quick. And that's the key around here. You got to get the fish up as fast as you can, or those bull sharks are just going to destroy it for you. There he is, nice mangrove. Got to make sure you bleed those fish out. Got to make sure you ensure the best quality meat you can. So right here I'm making a drop, and you can see that sea turtle out in the distance. And as I'm making my way to the bottom, you'll see this bull shark rolling along the bottom, just doing his thing, not really minding me. Actually, on his way out, he kind of twitches his fin and waves at me, saying what's up, hoping he can steal my fish. But this was a really sweet dive. Kind of just looking at all the life on this ledge, and when I look out this way out in the distance, I actually see a decent sized yellowjack. Not a very big one, but a perfect size for sashimi nonetheless. See that small group of amberjacks coming through. This is a pretty sweet spot. But as I'm making my way up over here, I'm making my next drop where I seen that yellowjack in the previous dive. I start making my way down, and as I make my way down, this yellowjack just starts making his way right up to me. I was able to land a pretty decent shot in it. Not in the head, sadly, but I was able to horse him up really fast. And these yellowjacks, even the small ones, man, I'm telling you, they're no joke. They're a lot stronger than what you think. That's me horsing the fish up real quick. Get that thing to you and wrap him up and don't let him get away. This next clip here, I started kind of late into my dive. As you can see, I'm already at the bottom, but I was really just trying to get that sea turtle right there. I don't even know if you could see him right there past the sponge sitting in that hole with his head in the hole. But right there's a mutton snapper. Look at me. If you roll it back, you'll see him swimming right at me. I look up again and I actually see him, and that's why the camera gets all funky right now, is because I'm trying to get my gun situated. But I finally do, and was able to land a really decent shot just in behind the collarbone, coming out through his cheek. A real good shot, real good holding shot. Not wasting too much meat either. And I was able to horse him up off the bottom. Had to put the GoPro in my mouth so I could use both hands to get him up. But after that, I cut the clip just because it was all disorienting. No one really wants to watch a disorienting video, but that's him right there. Beautiful mutton snapper. This clip I just threw in there, it's from a different day. I thought it was really cool though. You see a few hogfish there. One big one here in the mainstream. Not really huge, but bigger than the rest in the picture. And what he does is really cool. As you see, he's coming in the feet on the bottom there, and he actually changes into his camouflage. He goes from that whitish pink to that red camouflage. He starts eating something there on the bottom. Decides he's done with it and starts going back into that white pink. I really thought that was an awesome thing to get on video. This is back to the same day. I actually seen this small kingfish cruising around. Decent smoker kingfish. I line up on him and ended up putting a shot right in on top of its back, really, and it came out his side. Decent holding shot, not a very great shot, but just because it was between the dorsal and the anal fin, it was a good holding shot, I guess, and I was able to keep it buttoned. I wasn't really confident in it at first. I was kind of playing it out because I really hate shooting fish and losing fish. Hate injuring them. But as you can see here, I just kind of played it out. Give him what he wants and take him what I can, basically. That's all you really can do. See right there, I really couldn't tell how good that shot was. Looks like the barb was just barely hanging in him, but it was a little better than it looked.
Take it easy, take it easy.
And you got to try to get that fish's tail as quick as you can. That's the goal here at this point. Get that fish's tail, take his motor out, and get a hold of those gills, and you got your fish. Here I am finally getting a hold of that tail. Move my hands up and get a hold of those gills right away. Start making my way to the ski with them.
I'll come to you.
On my way to the ski, you got to make sure you brain them and bleed them. Put the fish out of the misery and just limit the injury to you, and put the fish out of its misery. Also ensures really good meat quality when you bleed them like that. Noelle got this really cool shot for me, so shout out to her for that and for captaining the ski. Here I'm making a drop. This is a different day. You can see that small amberjack on the bottom, and then the Cero Mac just starts cruising by in the opposite direction, and I reach out and just take his lights out right there. I thought that was really cool. Good shot. Here comes that little AJ again for a closer look on another dive. And here, this is a really cool shot of just all the spadefish on this ledge, all the way up in the water. I'm on the surface and they're right there, but I make my way out past them, and I see this perfect eating size amberjack. Obviously not too small, but not too big either, because those big ones, they can be a lot to handle sometimes. But I landed a pretty decent shot in it. I didn't end up stoning it, but it definitely rocked his socks and kind of took his motor out for a little bit. See, now he's back on the surface and he's starting to fight me a little more. And pay attention when I start going towards this line. I take this line and I actually throw it up above my head, make sure it gets behind me so it's not wrapping me up in any way. But work your way down that shaft and grab a hold of the fish, and you got it. So right before this drop, Lucas actually shot another amberjack and it got sharked. And I made another drop actually going to see what was in this hole right here. And I look inside the hole. My eyes can do a little bit better than what the camera does, but I didn't really see anything in the hole. So I turned around and I actually ended up seeing this perfect yellowjack swimming behind me. Pretty decent one. I reach out and I just missed the stone shot, sadly. I start horsing this thing up, but as you can see, man, like I said before, those yellowjacks they're definitely a force to be reckoned with. They're delicious, so it's great fun shooting them. But I'm horsing this thing up, trying to get him to the surface. Lucas should have shot him right there because he knows better. In this area, if you have this fish away from you for too long, this is exactly what happens. That shark just comes up and makes really quick work of it. Gone just like that. So we left that spot after we lost 2 fish to the sharks. We made our way in shallower, decided to grab some bugs, and we found a couple sitting in this hole. And as you can see, there's 3 in there. And I jump and grab this first one. And I pull him out and I put him in my right hand. And I stick my left hand back in there and I try to grab another. And I end up pulling the second out. What I do with the second one is I stick him under my armpit so I can hold him and put my left hand back in there again and try to get the third out. And I ended up working him out, making my way to the surface. And there's Lucas holding the ski down just like he should. Gotta have a good dive buddy like that. We measured these lobsters, and the smallest one that I had was probably a good 1/4 inch over legal, so they're all going in the cooler. And we made our way back to that spot, and Lucas ended up putting a perfect stone shot into this AJ. Just absolutely lights out. We got the fish to the ski, and we started resetting the drift. As you can see, the seas were picking up just a little bit.
Yeah, Lucas.
And the sharks were definitely cruising around now after Lucas shot that AJ. But I make a drop down on the flasher, scanning on the way to the bottom. You can see the bull sharks cruising around in the distance. And the school of AJ starts coming in, check me out. And I look under the school of AJs, and there's a nice mutton swimming in the opposite direction. I line up on him and I stop kicking just so I can ensure I get the shot. And I hit him. I put it right in the meat, but it was a good holding shot. It made it able so I could pull the fish up really fast and keep it away from those sharks that were down there. As you can see, they're coming up trying to get it. I think I just got it just close enough to me where they got uninterested. I don't know if that's luck, or I don't know if that's really what they think. And this is another day. It's the start of another day. We started trying to do some blue water activities, and on one of the structures we were diving on, this weed line was there, and there really wasn't much besides those triple tail and this awesome sea turtle that came in with the cobia. I was thinking about shooting the cobia. I think it definitely was probably legal, but I figured the sea turtle and him have definitely a pretty cool relationship going on, so I shouldn't mess with it. And then I did end up shooting this amberjack off one of the structures, and I missed it on video, but that was him in the cooler. And not even 5 minutes after that, we hopped back in the water, and as you can see there, I was holding onto the jet ski, and you can start seeing these sharks in the distance, and this shark just starts beelining it right for Lucas. And I go down and poke him, try to make him get away from us, and the second one comes right up after. After that, we decided that we might as well go back in and do some shallower water activities. So I drop in on this reef. It's kind of just a stretch of hard bottom right here. And I'm kind of scanning around. You see the visibility wasn't the greatest, but it's not terrible. You can definitely still hunt in this. And out in the distance there, you kind of notice that bull shark cruising around. Could almost see the remora better than the shark at this point. But I didn't really see too much going on. I didn't even make my way all the way to the bottom. I was kind of just cruising along the bottom, scanning, grunting a little bit here and there. You can see that shark way out in the distance right there. I start making my way to the surface, and then just get bum rushed by this whole school of AJs. And I really thought about shooting one, but I already shot one for the day, so I decided against it, and I pointed up at Lucas, told him to shoot this one. And I actually cut the clip because I wasn't sure if I was recording, but I restarted the recording, and I got this one on video for Lucas. But as you can see, he dives down, just taking his time, trying to pick out one of the bigger ones in the school. Really not trying to rush up to him or nothing. But he ends up seeing a decent one, lines up his shot, and puts a really good shot in it. Didn't stone it, but it was a good solid holding shot and definitely hurt the fish, as you can see. I went there and backed that shot up. You always got to put 2 in these fish. Unless you stone them right off the rip, then these fish have got a lot of fight into them. Even the smaller ones, people would not expect it. But you see, I get to the ski because we already seen the sharks, and I just start horsing this thing as hard as I can back up to the ski. As you can see, as soon as I get him to the ski, he's just going ballistic. was finally able to brain this thing
It's just
and
a
get him in
fish.
my hands. Lucas had to hop back in this on the ski because the sharks were just getting a little too frisky. But awesome fish for Lucas right there. Stud AJ.
That shit was lit, wasn't it? Good shot though, buddy.
Thank you all for watching, and please like and subscribe.